Hello friends, my name is Shilpa Kakkar. I am from MB Patel English Medium Secondary and Higher Secondary School. Today we are going to discuss chapter number 8 of Standard 12th of History. This is the third part of this chapter. Students, in the previous sessions we discussed about the Western ideologies, impact of education, Western education, economic and administrative integration of India, impact of literature and printing. In this session, we are going to discuss further re-research of India's glorious past. See students, the title itself indicates that it is the re-research. Research is itself done again. Actually, the basic word is search, which was researched, and now this is re-research. That is, again it was researched. What has been researched? India's glorious past. Students, India has a rich cultural heritage, and we have to be very proud of it. Alexander Cunningham, the director of archaeological department, and his assistants hunted a lot of remnants and tracked India's cultural heritage by digging at ancient sites. These remnants told many things about the prosperity and glory of Indian culture and heritage. During the same time, an archaeologist named Bhagwan Lal Indrajit also discovered many ancient things which told Indians about their glorious past. Many experts and intellectuals tried to induct Indians to their glorious culture and heritage. Actually, at that time, it was not that people were completely unaware of the glory of India, the rich culture of India, but they were so impressed with the Western education, Western lifestyle of the British that they themselves felt that they were inferior. So, the wise Indian personalities like Rajendra Lal Mitra, Ramkrishna Bhandarkar, Lala Hardayal, Dayanand Saraswati, Swami Vivekanand, Raja Ram Mohan Roy did their best to spread awareness among the Indians about the country's great glorious heritage. Many others studied the Indian coins, those were the ancient coins, sculptures, scriptures, manuscripts, and created an inspiring literature. The inscriptions of Ashoka, the grammar book of Panini and other grammarians, Patanjali's book, Kautilya's book Arthashastra, manuscripts of many other writers, beautiful literature written by Kalidas, and the books written by the astronomers and astrologers. All these people provided a great source of inspiration and knowledge. Many experts threw light on such things and made people aware about their country's pride. They wrote Indian cultural heritage was not inferior to that of Greece and Rome. This also triggered a lot of nationalism in India. The British, you all know, they had a pride of their race. So, this racial pride of the British was actually depressing. They were behaving with the people as if they all were inferior. They had the pride of their color, and that is why they were discriminating between the Asians and the Westerns and Europeans. The British were full of vanity since the beginning. The rulers and the ruling style displayed this pride. The company rule neglected the Indians and kept them away from the government jobs. They had a severe contempt for the Indians, and because of that only they were not granted any job in the government offices according to their qualifications. It was not that Indians were not at all intelligent. You all know. Today even the Indian minds are very much in demand in foreign land. But they had that attitude that Indians were not at all intelligent. Their IQ level is very low. Moreover, the Europeans had a privilege to be present in the court before the British jury, and this made them helpless in the court matters also. A terrible vanity, racial pride, and severe contempt could be seen in the British, especially after 1857 revolt. They never failed to show Indians inferior to themselves. Indians were prohibited from visiting European clubs, hotels, parks, bathrooms. They always showed that their white skins superiority over the black, and especially in India and in Asian continent. Wherever they went, they showed that they were superior. They believed that the Asians were inferior. The Indians were uncultured, illiterate, ignorant, and uncivilized in their behavior. They continued with the principle the white has the birthright to suppress the Indian. All these things were humiliating. It was like an insult. This discrimination was not at all borne by the Indians, and when it reached to its peak, people started raising their voice against them. And the sense of hatred and malice also increased between British and Indians. And that is why political associations were formed. And these political associations helped the Indians to get united. Indian National Congress, as you all know, it was the first association which had united the people of India. But all the credit goes to the smaller associations which were formed before that. The political associations before the Indian National Congress were many, but they were at very small scale. There were some political organizations which worked in the direction before and after the foundation of Indian National Congress also. Western education had already enforced the ideology of democracy, constitution, and home rule among Indians. As a result, there was an establishment of many political national organizations which enhanced the social and the religious reformation efforts. These organizations laid the platform and environment for the foundation of Indian National Congress. So, these things helped a lot. These smaller organizations helped a lot to form the great bigger one organization. They owe to them. Because of that only Indian Indian National Congress was formed. The smaller associations like Bang Bhasha Publication Association, Jamindari Association, British Indian Association, all these associations worked the way they could unitedly to achieve their goal, and their goal was to get freedom from the British. They were working at a very small scale at the local level, but they were working the way they wanted to. They were united, and all these associations only helped the formation of Indian National Congress. In the next session, we'll discuss in detail about the different political associations which helped and made the base for Indian National Congress, which was formed in 1885. Till then, read the text, try to understand it better. Thank you.